What is up, everybody? You are very welcome back after Liverpool beat Crystal Palace by 3-1 at Selhurst Park. Let the piss boiling begin. I will go through the entire game. I will talk to you about the 3 goals, Palace's goal. It was definitely a game of 2 halves. We'll have a man of the match poll as well in the chat for you guys. And look, loads to go through. Just want to say this post-match show has been brought to you with thanks to our friends at manscaped.com. As always, you can get 20% off and free shipping store-wide. Absolutely anything at manscaped.com. Performance Package 4.0, Lawnmower 4.0, Weed Whacker, 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, sea salt and aloe vera body wash, whatever it is your heart desires. Use our discount code WFM20 for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Right, look, ladies and gentlemen, let's get straight into the conversation, and we go all the way back to the starting 11. No complaints from me when the team news came out. I was a bit surprised to see Fabinho and Matip in there because of the knocks they had, but certainly no complaints from me about the starting 11. And we played really well in the first 45 minutes. I thought the 2-0 lead didn't flatter us at all. 2 very good goals from our perspective. A great header from Van Dijk from Andy Robertson corner, followed up by an equally good finish from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain from another great Robbo delivery. Went in at half time and feeling good about life, feeling like we were cruising to another 3 points. But Palace came out in the second half and they really made a game of it, you know. The old adage, it was a game of 2 halves. It certainly was. We were the better team in the first half. I've no problem admitting Palace were the better team in the second half. And they created enough opportunities to maybe feel like they could have gotten something from the game. Ultimately, a lot of people believe it came down to the penalty decision inside the final 10 minutes. My take is it was a penalty, but yes, I will concede it was a soft penalty. And if it had have gone the other way, I would have understood the thought process behind it either way. But ultimately, my great satisfaction from this performance is that with the lads away at the AFCON, this is the second of 2 league games that we would have had to play. And we've got to 3 points, and we now close to within, if we win our games in hand, 6 points of Manchester City. And is the title race on? It's an outside chance, but yes, it's on. We've done our part, which is capitalising on the fact that City dropped some points yesterday. And that's all we could have really done. You know, we've a League Cup final to look forward to, an FA Cup tie against Cardiff as well, and the lads coming back to fitness. Harvey Elliott will be back after the international break. Thiago will be back after the international break. The boys will be back from the AFCON. So things are looking better. Things are looking a lot better, a lot healthier for Jurgen Klopp's men. Another massive Premier League game kicking off in half an hour as well. Chelsea against Spurs. Any result in that will help us out as well, in all honesty. So yeah, look, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be on Twitch at 10 o'clock for some FIFA streams if you want to come across and join me. But right now, I want to just get into talking about player ratings and the man of the match vote. Really quickly, for my contenders for man of the match, I would certainly have Alisson Becker in there. He made 3 top-level saves that I can remember today. 4 if you include the one that would have been offside, a point-blank save with his right hand. So for me, I'd have Robbo in there, I'd have Alisson in there, Curtis Jones in there perhaps, and then look, I'll leave it up to you guys to suggest a 4th. Really quickly going to fly through some player ratings. Chris will be joining me for another stream in about 10 minutes time, so I look forward to that. But really quickly, Alisson 8.5 for Alisson today. Nothing he could have done about the goal. I mean, no way was he at fault for any of that. And he saved from an Elise chip as well, tried to loft it over him. Could have very easily been 2-2. He's made some great saves. 8.5 for Alisson. Trent, not Trent's greatest game, in all honesty. Didn't really get too much attacking quality from Trent today. I'm going to give him a 6. I think Trent can and will be better than he was today. It's been a bit of a worrying time, actually, Trent. He's been up and down a lot lately. When he's good, he's been very good. But when he hasn't been great, he hasn't been great. Robbo on the left side, I'm going to give Robbo an 8 because of his 2 assists and always willing to get forward. I thought Robbo was a pain in the arse today, in all honesty, in a good way. Centre-back pairings, Van Dijk. I'm not going to give Van Dijk that high a score, a 6.5. I don't know what himself and Robbo were at on a couple of occasions today, allowing the Palace players to drift in between the 2 of them. On at least 2 occasions in the second half I can think of with the high line. So a 6.5 for Van Dijk. Matip, a 5. I don't know what's up with Joe lately. He wasn't great again today. Looked very shaky in the first half. A bit less so in the second half, but ultimately, this high line can cause problems if we don't play it right, and that worries me. In midfield, Fabinho 7. I think Fabinho played okay, particularly considering he had a knock after that challenge from Thomas Partey midweek. Henderson's the great mystery for me right now. With Liverpool, I don't really have anything to criticise him on, but I don't really have anything to compliment him on either. It was a shift of effort from Jordan Henderson, but not really too much quality. He did have an opportunity in the second half. There was a ball played into his feet. He had his back to goal. He managed to control it, swivel onto his left foot, and probably will feel he should have done better. Dragged it wide of the keeper's right hand post. So I'm going to give Henderson a 7 as well. Curtis Jones 7.5 left hand side. To me, the best of the midfield trio today, but the best of what was not a great bunch in all honesty. With regards to our midfield, Palace, they dominated in the second half for long periods. Moving forward, Diogo Jota left hand side. I thought Jota was brilliant today. Lots to admire about his endeavour, his work rate, and his cleverness. I think Diogo Jota was very good today. 7.5 for Jota. Bobby Firmino 6, and I'm probably being generous with that 6 because he gave the ball away 3-4 times that I can think of off the top of my head. Wasn't too much of a threat in an attacking perspective, and it wasn't even linking up play as well as he normally does, so wasn't overly impressed today with Firmino at all. Right hand side, Oxlade-Chamberlain. You know what? I don't know if it was a pre-arranged thing for him to be taken off at 60, because I certainly don't feel his performance deserved to see him pulled off at 60 minutes. I thought Oxlade-Chamberlain did very well, particularly in the first half. He took his goal magnificently. Lovely ball to him by Robbo. He chested it down on his left foot then as well, put it between the keeper's legs and into the back of the net. So I think Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain deserves a solid 7 today as well. I thought he was alright. The man of the match poll is live now in the chat if anybody wants to jump over there and have their say. It looks like one particular person is romping to a victory. But all in all, look, most important thing today was to go and get the 3 points, and the lads did that. And it doesn't have to be pretty. All it has to be is 3 points, and it was that. Did I predict 3-1? Yes. Did I predict a Van Dijk header? Yes. Did you guys put money on it? Probably not, but I did. So from that perspective, I'm going to have a nice Sunday. But other than that, look, I'm just glad that we can have the lads back from the AFCON now. We are heading off into an international break or a winter break or whatever you'd like to call it. And I hate this time. I don't like when Liverpool don't have games to play. So I'm hoping that those do have international games, that they come back injury free, and that after the international break we can look forward to Thiago, we can look forward to Harvey Elliott being back, Salah being back, Mane being back, and hopefully even Divock Origi being back, because this is the period of the season where Liverpool would have been hoping to utilise Divock Origi. I think he'll move on in the summer, by the way, Divock. I'd seen that he'd been linked with Fiorentina. Did anybody else see that? That he's been looked at as a potential replacement for Vlahovic should he leave Fiorentina. Next match Colin is against Cardiff in the FA Cup, mate. Craig, how do you deal with them salty fans? I just keep winding them up and laughing at them, mate. That's all you can do. I mean, I don't know what they really have a selective mind. Yes, the penalty was soft, but we were winning the game at that point. So odds are we probably would have seen it out. But yeah, look, we got a bit of a soft one today. I'll be the first one to admit that. But you know, we've had enough against us, so do they even themselves out? I don't know. But ultimately, I also don't give a shit because we got the 3 points, and that's all I cared about today. Origi should go in this window, get a bit of cash, said Mick. Do I feel dirty after that win? No. I don't give a shit about the penalty incident being a bit dodgy, mate. Couldn't bother me in the slightest. We got the result. That's all that matters. I mean, as I keep pointing out, we were winning the game before the penalty. It's not like we were pegged back to 2-2 all of a sudden and get gifted a winner at the end. Definition of a game of two halves, said Rav V. 100% agree with you, mate. It absolutely was a game of two halves. Yeah, Patrick's just said Minamino's got to go there. I won, like, he did nothing when he came on today, and I don't want to knock the lad, but nothing. There was nothing from Minamino when he came on. Yeah, I mean, I love that people try to back and defend our players. Of course I do, but like, we have to be realists as well, and Minamino just doesn't look up to it in the Premier League. But what worries me more has been Joel Matip in the past 2 games, because when I heard Klopp say he had a knock or picked up a knock in the first game, I thought, okay, fair enough. But he carried that uncertainty into today's game and was shaky, quite frankly, throughout. So surprised that maybe we didn't see Joel Matip taken off and replaced by Ibrahim Kanade. Joke how much VAR is for Liverpool and United. He continues to screw over Arsenal and City. Okay, first of all, mate, haha. Second of all, double ha 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 ha. And thirdly, if you actually look at the VAR decisions, we're in the minus for decisions helping us out. We're low down the league table of VAR decisions that have helped us out. So, do I feel that was a bit of a soft penalty? Yes, I can understand people saying it was soft, but I will just repeat back to you, we were winning the fucking game already. So, there's no certainty that Palace would have equalised. None! I mean, they hadn't equalised up until, what was it, the 83rd, 84th minute. So, the fact that all opposition fans' minds now go to, well, if that penalty hadn't have been given, there definitely would have been an equaliser. I mean, do you not think that's a stretch? Maybe? So, also, it's really important to point out that I really don't give a fuck. Like, I really don't. I've no consideration for what opposition fans think. Right now, I am enjoying life as a Liverpool fan, enjoying the fact that we still have a league title to contest, enjoying the fact that we have a Champions League games to contest against Inter, enjoying the fact we have a League Cup final, after going to Arsenal's gaff, after listening to all of this and beating in your own gaff. So again, just to reiterate, me, no givey fucky. Craig, we got very lucky there. Not a penalty in second half. Musk was terrible, said Pranav. Ali saved us big time. Yep, agree with Alisson. Was really good today. Certainly helped us. Agree, second half Palace were way better. No argument on that. I don't know about the getting lucky thing though. That I don't buy into, because again, we were winning when we got the penalty. So the third goal, yes, bit of fortune, but ultimately they scored 1. We scored 3. I just don't get the way of thinking of people that go, yeah, you got lucky, and then love to drag in that this hypothetical equaliser was coming as well. Matip's been poor since his return, said Steve. Bazunu or Kelleher, I mean, they're both great, in all honesty. I think it's right that Bazunu has the Ireland #1 shirt right now. I don't think he's done anything to deserve to be dropped. Great 30 minutes, said Caelan, then a poor 60. Thoughts on the defence? Worrying. I think maybe it is time to start bringing Kanade in to give a bit more pace as well if we're going to play that high line, because the amount of times that teams are able to play one pass and split us open, it is worrying. I mean, for me to sit here and say otherwise, I would be lying to you. Palace created enough chances in that game today to get something from the game. It was a combination of some poor decision making from them and some good goalkeeping from Alisson that ultimately nearly cost us a point, 2 points. But you got to give credit to Palace for the goal. I thought they took it very well, and from their perspective, if you're a Palace fan, you're thinking tidy, and I can get that absolutely. But from our perspective, I don't know how Robbo and Van Dijk just allowed the player to drift in between them and none of them talking to each other. So that worries me. Yeah, but ultimately, look, we got the win, and at the end of the season, that's all we look back on. These games that we grind out, so I'm happy enough. Joe Gomez until the end of the season. Kanade for me, but again, Gomez I'd have no issues with. Look, we're blessed that we have 4 good first team centre backs there, so. Yeah, I mean, look, if I do think if this continues with Matip, the situation needs to be looked at, because he's been our best defender all season, but you can't rest on your laurels. If he's not performing up to the level, it needs to be looked at. And yeah, look, the high line has caused us problems, as has been pointed out in the chat. I can't argue with that. It has. JD said, if Spurs win today, can you see them being in the conversation with us and City? No. I think us and City are a calibre above. what is in the Premier League at the minute. Chelsea are going through a sticky period. I mean, they need to get their finger out. But ultimately, no, I don't see it being too much of an issue. But look, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to leave this video here. And I will be back in 2 minutes with Chris Stonage for his match reaction as well. Myself and Chris will go through the game. Connor will end the man of the match vote, or I will end it now, actually, 1 second. And we'll give you guys the results before we head off. So, with no shortage of votes, the Anfield agenda man of the match today is Alisson with 79% of the vote. Thank you to everybody that voted. Again, thank you to Manscaped. Don't forget you can get 20% off and free shipping store-wide at Manscaped with our discount code WFM20. Get yourself over to manscaped.com. Use that code and treat yourself to something nice. Look, see you in 2 minutes for myself and Chris for another match reaction. Tonight, over in the Anfield Agenda Twitch channel, I'm going to start streaming FIFA Career Mode tonight at 10 o'clock, so I hope to see you over there for that.